greatest health. Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. Jaguars postgame starts right now.
Welcome in. Jaguars postgame final score: Bears 41, Jaguars 17, and with 3:03 to play in the fourth quarter, Jets 20, Browns 16. The Jets just got a sack fumble off Baker Mayfield, and they're set up in the red zone with 3:03 to play. Browns have one timeout left. It's 3rd down 4. We'll keep you posted on that ball game. The Jaguars fall today, though, 41-17 to the Chicago Bears. Time now for the first word with head coach Doug Marrone, presented by Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Here's Jeff Lageman.
Thank you, JP. Doug, 10-10 early in the first half, and then all of a sudden you have a little change of interceptions, and then the game kind of got out of control for your football team.
You're exactly right. I think, in the second half, they go down the field, they score. We get a penalty that really hurt that drive, and then we wanted to punt, and they go ahead and score. Then we throw an interception, and they go back and score, and they scored four straight possessions. And we didn't help ourselves on offense to try to get that done. I thought there was a couple of good plays. I mean, obviously DJ made a play, Laviska made a play, but just not enough. And they made plays on a couple of those drives, a 3rd down, 4th down, where we could have had the ability to get off the field, and maybe they would have tried for a field goal or really get the ball over on downs to get the ball back and try to, and keep the game tight, and then the game got away from us.
You guys offensively didn't have James Robinson today, but Dario Gumboale did, I thought, a really good job at the running back position for your offense.
He really did. I mean, he had about, 12 to 15 carries, somewhere around there. He looked like he had a good average. I don't know if it was close to 5 or not, but, he was running the ball well. He had a good run along at 25. So, he came in there and did a nice job. So, it's just unfortunate to see what he would have done if he would have gotten, 20 to 25 carries, to see where he would have been if the game was close. But, obviously it didn't work out that way.
All right, Doug. Appreciate your time.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
That's the first word with head coach Doug Marrone, presented by Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve. Final score, 41-17. The Bears over the Jaguars. The Jets have just added a field goal with 2:52 to play in the fourth quarter. Jets 23, Browns 16. And again, if the Jets win, the Jaguars would hold the number 1 overall pick, and it would be secured no matter what happens next week. Mike Dempsey, hello.
Hello. It's nervous moments here in the studio. Really, this is what it's all come down to, JP. Can the Jets hang on in the final 3 minutes of this football game? They've done a nice job. The Browns got devastating news last night. Their whole wide receiver depth chart got wiped out due to COVID-19 restrictions, and it's showing up today. They're not doing a whole lot offensively here, but in typical Jets fashion, they'll build a lead on you, but they'll make sure you've got a chance in the final minute. So it's not going to go easily, but the Jaguars fall today. So like you said, if the Jets are able to win this football game, JP, there is little consequence, at least for next week. It would still potentially matter, because if you end up in a tie, you're going to get the number 1 overall pick, but you'd alternate at the top of the odd and even rounds. So there'd be some small degree of consequence, but the big prize would be yours, which would be obviously the rights to draft whoever you like, and I can make a prediction on who that would be.
I think a lot of people could, and we'll keep you. The kickoff goes out of bounds.
Are you kidding? I mean, by about 5 yards.
We'll keep you.
Coach, can you hear me? Oh, hold on. They got to turn your mic on.
Now, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. All right, guys, Coach is here. So if you have a question for Coach, go ahead and raise your hand. We're going to get started with Alex Fleming from the Florida Sun Review.
How you doing, Coach?
I guess all right.
All right, considering the record of the team, is the immediate need at the defensive line, the secondary linebacker, or offensive line?
I think that's a question for the general manager and after the season, honestly. I mean, I can't. I'm trying to win football games with the guys that we have. So that's my job. That's what I'm working on. I can't really give you a need or anything like that. That's not my role. Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Let's go to Mike DiRocco and then Mark Long.
Hey,
Always D-Rock. Always D-Rock first. I mean that's favoritism.
Well, it really is.
God, Mark, your face is all red from that mask. I'm sorry, D-Rock. Go ahead.
No. We can keep insulting Mark. That's all right.
No, I'm not insulting him. I'm just pointing something out.
Can you break down what you saw out of Mike today? And if any point you thought of going to Gardner?
I mean, I thought early on we were we did some good things. I think that, it was tight, and then we got the turnover in the second quarter at the end of the half. So we got the turnover, then we came back and we gave it back to them, and they wound up getting a field goal out of it. But I thought we were making some throws there. I thought what really hurt us, they came out and again, it was 4 straight touchdowns. And, it's not just the defense. It's really, that's on all of us. I mean, that's on the offense too, and everything, everyone that's involved, because, they go down the field to score, then we, get about an 8-yard gain and we get a penalty, and now it's 1st and 20. And, it's very difficult and challenging for us to overcome that stuff. And, then we wanted to punt and they go down to score, and then we come back and, we get 2 guys in the same area. It's poor communication on our part. And, next thing you know, that's another score, and next thing you know, the game's out of it. And, once it was that, I mean, was there a point where I'm like, hey, should I, put Gardner in there? I'm like, I was thinking about it, but there wasn't enough possessions, and I didn't want to, put him in there in that type of situation.
And what about Dari today, subbing for James Robinson the day he had?
I thought he did a nice job. He really did. I thought that, he had about, 12 to 15 carries. I thought he averaged about 5 yards a carry. He had a nice 25-yard run. He was running hard. I think, it would have been nice to see if the game was close and, now all of a sudden he's at 20 to 25, how he does there. But, I thought he did a nice job going in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Let's go to Mark and then Gene.
Doug, you have a pretty good handle on your team. Did you feel like this was coming today, or did you think you guys would play well did you anticipate anything like this?
No, I mean, we go out there, we're fighting hard, and then all of a sudden it just, we just can't sustain it. I mean, when you look out on the field, there's opportunities there. There's a 3rd down play, there's a 4th down play where, I'm saying, all of a sudden now that breaks that momentum, and, we can get the ball around the 30-something yard line and go, and, they throw it to A-Rob and he gets the 1st down and it keeps the chains moving. And, they did a good job of keeping the chains moving most of the day. I mean, I think they had a bunch of 1st downs. They were able to make some big plays. They were able to get behind us. We had some, 2 pass interference calls, that gave them some big yards, and we gave up some big plays. So, we could fight for so long, and then, we just got to continue and try to get, 60 minutes out of it. We got one more game left. And like I told the team, I told them after the game, I said, hey, 2020 has been shitty. I mean, we all know that. I said, but hey, the way I look at it is, we've got ourselves a game, and, starting in 2021. So, let's make this change. Let's just change this thing. And, I think these guys, they care about each other. In the locker room, they're consoling each other. It's difficult. But again, I mean, you're not getting a lot of, people pointing fingers. You're not getting people that want to take themselves out of the game. You're getting guys that are, going in there and trying. It's not making plays. And at the end of the day, we're not playing well enough, and that's on all of us.
Thanks, Mark. All right, let's go over to Gene for the last question.
Hey, Doug, could you just talk about whether you even noticed it at all? But obviously there was a lot of cheering in the stands when the Bears scored touchdowns, and it wasn't just Bears fans that were cheering. How tough was that, or was that something you even paid much attention to?
No, I don't really think about it. I think, in this time, the time that we're in right now, with COVID, and a lot of these fans, don't get a chance to see, their team play. And you got an opportunity to come to what I believe is probably one of the greatest cities, to enjoy. You got beaches, you got a river, you got, it's I really love this town. So it's a great town. And, I mean, shoot, if I was a fan for another team and I couldn't, if I have a choice of going to a game in cold weather or, coming down here to Jacksonville and watch my team play. I think those things are happening. I think they're probably happening for, a lot of these teams that are, letting people into their stadium. So I don't look at it as anything, negative or distracting for us. Our focus is on the field and trying to win football games. But, I don't. That's fine. I mean, I think this year with COVID, there's we've seen that, and I think you would expect that. At least I
Thank
do.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Gene. That looks to be the last question. So appreciate your time, Coach.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Just say, hey, look, I haven't made my mind up yet, but the open competition thing was kind of curious to me.
Yeah, it is curious, and it also goes back to Jeff. If you have two quarterbacks, you really don't have a quarterback.
That's right.
I would rather have one guy who's my solid, franchise guy, so I don't have to go back and forth, trying to make those decisions. So, here we are. It is what it is at this point. Everyone's tuned in to see what happens with this Cleveland Jets game, and praying and hoping that we're able to bring a guy in here who can be the face of the team and be that franchise player to lead us to the motherland.
And what would be great, guys?
Yes.
Is to go ahead and have the Jets win today so that you're not sitting there worrying about another game and draft position, and everybody can, for the most part, can get back to wanting your team to win.
And guys, I got to jump in here. 1:18 to play. It appears that the Jets defense has stopped the Browns on 4th and a foot at about the 15-yard line. They gave the ball to the Jets, and Baker Mayfield lost the football on that play. So apparently the Jets picked it up, and the Jets are going to win this game by 7. It appears now. They're going to take a long look at it, but it looks like the Jets are going to hang on for a win over the Cleveland Browns today.
And that's perfect. I mean, so now if with the Jets winning, if it does in fact stay that way, the Jaguars are now locked in for having the first overall pick in the draft. And now everybody can say, go Jaguars, beat the Colts. And then instead of some fans saying, lose to the Colts because we want to have the first overall pick.
Some fans. Kidding?
I understand what you're saying, Mike. There are some people that want their team to win regardless, and I get it, and I get it both sides, but it would be nice to have the Jets go ahead and win this ball game, and then that deal's done.
Yeah, they're taking a long look at this because the ball ended up past the line, but was the man who recovered it across the line before he was touched. There's a lot still to be reviewed here, but first glance, it appears like it's good news for the Jets and good news for the Jags. So we'll keep you posted.
Can you hear me, Mike?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hang on one second. Let me get everyone's attention. Alex, why don't you go ahead?
How you doing, Mike?
How's it going?
Considering the way that the season has gone, what has the team learned, and is there any cohesion with you on the offensive line when it comes to signal calling and direct snaps?
Sorry, I don't understand the question. The center and direct snaps?
The timing of the offensive line and the cadence. It looks like Chicago was pressuring you guys all day. So I was just wondering if there was synchronicity between you and the offensive line.
I noticed. I mean, there was one sack, and I barely got hit. So, no, I did not notice that at all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Let's go to D-Rock.
Hey, Mike, how do you, describe this strange week with the way things went during the week and then today where game's close in the first half and then it just kind of gets away from everybody?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting week, but no excuse or anything like that. Like you said, we came out pretty well. I mean, it was a 10-10 ball game, and then poor decision by me before the half. And then, they got 3 points, and, it just seemed like it went kind of downhill from there. And unfortunately, we couldn't kind kind of recover from there.
Thanks, D-Rock. Let's go to Gene.
Hey, Mike, I'm just wondering how much, if anything, did you notice the crowd cheering a lot of the positive things that the Bears did? Not just Bears fans, but obviously Jaguars fans as well. I mean, how weird was hearing that? If you noticed it at all?
No, I just assumed it was all Bears fans. I couldn't tell you who it was, but I mean, I understand the situation. Having played in Chicago, those fans travel really well. They have a great fan base. So I just thought that was all the Chicago fans.
All right, are there any other questions for Mike? I don't see any additional hands. All right, well, Mike, you're done with your time today. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. All right, that concludes media availability.
Thanks, Amanda. Happy New Year's.
Come on down, Trev. We're waiting on you, baby. I mean, there's no pretense here. Everybody knows you can go right now. Fred, Shad Khan could hold a press conference and announce the first pick in the draft next year is Trevor Lawrence, and that is exactly what it's going to be. And, man, did the Jaguars ever need something like this in a season of misery, Fred, that at least if you're going to go through this, you got paid off finally on the back end of it?
Yeah, I mean, definitely got paid off. But just looking at everything, the Jets were clearly a much better team than the Jaguars. So if a team was going to find their way into first place, last place,
right,
it was the Jaguars. I mean, we had some opportunities where we showed some, like they competitive team, but they just weren't good enough to really get the second pick, I guess, this year. But again, the Jets were close a lot of times. So as Mike said, you know, throw all of the guessing out, this and that, what have you. Here we are with the opportunity to say, hey, we're going to go after Trevor Lawrence. But, Mike, I've always believed my mindset is act like you've been there. So I was trying to keep my cool.
Nah. Well, for one thing, they've never been there at the top of the draft.
I know, but
no cool keeping right here, man. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to fake it. Trevor Lawrence can change the face of he could change the long-term future of this franchise in so many ways. It's unbelievable. You wait until you see when they put season tickets on sale what's going to happen. Those phone lines are going to go absolutely crazy.
Sure, they are already.
Rightfully so. He's just a tremendous talent across the board, just on the field. You know, he's even just from what I've seen and heard, his character, you know, off the field, how he conducts himself. He's definitely a leader. He's feisty. He's what you want. And hopefully for the Jaguars organization, we're able to land that pick. And hopefully he's able to change the face of the franchise for the better.
Let's get to the Geico Fantasy Standouts. Saving you money on car insurance has been in Geico's playbook for over 75 years. So what are you waiting for? Get a quote at geico.com, and I'm sure there will be some Jets defenders in this list probably, right?
Well, if you're going for the Fantasy Standouts, Jamison Crowder would be one today. But just from this game itself today, we saw Mitchell Trubisky throw for 265 and a couple of touchdowns. Had an interception, added 10 yards on the ground, and a rushing score. So, all in all, he put together a pretty good fantasy game for you. Mike Glennon had the 2 touchdown passes, somewhat offset by the 2 interceptions, and only 211 yards through the air. David Montgomery on the ground, 95 yards and a touchdown. He caught 2 for 26 as well, and Allen Robinson had 10 for 103. Although, if you are a fantasy owner of Allen Robinson, you hope the would have hung on to that touchdown, that would-be touchdown. So he dropped that one. And on the Jag side, DJ Chark cut 4 for 62 with a score. Laviska Shenault 5 for 48 with a touchdown as well.
There you have it, some fantasy standouts from today's game. Allen Robinson, Fred, coming back to Jacksonville first time and putting up some big numbers today.
Yeah, his first catch there on our sideline. You can see him hop up and kind of giving the first down signal. No, he was excited. He's excited to be back here, you know, just amongst everyone, man. And it was good to see him. Good to see him out there healthy and still fired up and energetic, ready to go. It was never a question of his talent. You know, business get in the way of different things. And he's just the guy sometimes you look out there and say, man, would it be nice to have him out there going up, making those big plays as he did when he was here.
No question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Joe Schobert, Fred, another interception today, had a sack as well. What'd you make of his game?
You know what, Mike? I saw a clip a few days ago of him dunking the basketball.
Right, last week's game.
He's an athlete. I mean, his hands are better than some of our defensive backs' hands, I think. But that clip where he just kind of stepped in front, cut the receiver off, was able to secure the catch and get his feet in. That's a big play for a linebacker.
Let's come back in a moment. Highlights from this one. Plenty of Bears scores, but the Jaguars fall 41-17 to the Chicago Bears. Bears 8-7. Jaguars now 1-14. The Jets have beaten the Browns, so the Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. We're back with more. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
Hey, Jaguar fans. Jack Hannany is Audi Jacksonville, and Jack Hannany is Audi Orange Park. Have the luxury and exotic cars you're looking for. Lamborghini, Porsche, Audi, Rolls-Royce, and more. Over 400 new and pre-owned exotic vehicles waiting for you. With special financing up to 180 months and long-term leases, you can afford to drive your dream car from Hannany Exotics at Audi Jacksonville and Audi Orange Park. Online at HannanyExotics.com. See deal for complete details.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk. Checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk. Checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
Dreamfinders Homes has a simple commitment to their home buyers. Deliver unsurpassed quality, uncompromising value, and an extraordinary level of customization you simply won't find with other home builders. With over 40 communities to choose from, you'll find a location you love and the home of your dreams. Dreamfinders has townhomes, single-family homes, and custom estate homes starting from the high 100s and a wide selection of move-in ready homes. Quality, value, customization. That's the Dreamfinders difference. Call 904-738-0165 or online at dreamfindershomes.com. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Prices subject to change without notice. Equal housing opportunity.
Floridians know what it means to stand together. That's why Florida Blue is committed to the people of Florida by providing health care with lower costs and higher quality. Enroll within 60 days of life-changing events, such as losing your job, to get benefits like plans as low as $0 a month and up to $500 per year towards your premiums in wellness rewards. Call 1-800-750-0164 or visit floridablue.com/care today. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Incorporated. These health benefit plans have limitations and exclusions.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Final score, Bears 41, Jaguars 17. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Let's get to the highlights. Frank Frangie with the call on Jaguars radio today. The Jaguars got an early field goal. They had a lead in this game. Roses from 26 yards, 3-0 to open the scoring. And then the Bears go 75 yards in 10 plays, just under 5 minutes. Trubisky to Jimmy Graham, a 5-yard score.
Drops the throw. Looking, fires into the end zone. That is going to be caught for the touchdown. Jimmy Graham, a 5-yard touchdown pass from Trubisky to the veteran Jimmy Graham, and the Bears have taken the lead at TIAA Bank Field.
7-3 at that point. Bears with the lead. Santos hit a 20-yard field goal for the Bears. 10-3 at that point. In the ensuing drive for the Jaguars offense, their best of the day, in fact. Well, the best because it ended up in a touchdown. 10 plays, 70 yards, just under 5 minutes. Glennon to DJ Chark with a nice toe tap for a score.
Glennon drops against a four-man rush. Fires it toward the end zone once DJ Chark. DJ goes up and gets it. That's going to be a touchdown. Glennon to DJ Chark. Chark attack in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown to DJ Chark.
Tied the game 10-10. The Jaguars' next drive on offense, they tried a fake punt but had a holding call. Later had to punt it away. Joe Schobert had an interception after 11 plays on a drive for the Bears down just outside the red zone. But then 2 plays later, Roquan Smith for the Bears defense gets an interception off Glennon. It set up a Santos 40-yard field goal at the final gun before halftime, 13-10. Bears with the lead. Second half, all Bears all afternoon. Trubisky, a 6-yard run, capped off an 11-play drive to start the second half.
Second down play fake. Trubisky rolls to the right. Looking. He's going to run it. He's going to run it right into the end zone. That'll be a 6-yard touchdown pass or touchdown run for Mitch Trubisky. Nobody there. He ran it into the end zone and has extended the lead for the Chicago Bears.
20-10 at that point. Jags go 3 and out. Next drive for the Bears, 8 plays, 54 yards. Montgomery from 6 yards.
They give it to Montgomery on the right side this time. Inside the 5, he walks into the end zone, touchdown. David Montgomery, a touchdown run for the Chicago Bears.
Next offensive drive for the Jags. Roquan Smith gets his second interception of the day for the Bears defense. 2 plays later, Trubisky to Graham for a second time, this for 22.
Play fake. Trubisky drops the throw. Fires. Left corner of the end zone. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Jimmy Graham in the corner of the end zone, and Chicago has extended the lead.
Jags go 3 and out, and then Pierce caps off another touchdown drive for the Bears to make it 41-10.
They give to Pierce. Tries the left side. He walks into the end zone. First touchdown of his career, and the Bears extend the lead again.
Yeah, they just rolled for 4 consecutive touchdown drives. The Jags get a late touchdown. Glennon to Chenault on a nice throw and catch, 34 yards.
Shotgun for Glennon. He drops the throw. They blitz. Steps up. Fires deep downfield toward the end zone. This ball is caught for the touchdown. Laviska Chenault. Hasta Laviska. And Chenault scores for the Jaguars.
There you have it, the highlights today. 41-17, all Bears most of the day. It was 13-10 at halftime. Final score 41-17. We're back with a TIAA Bank stats check. Plenty more ahead as well after a Jaguars loss. Jaguars postgame is presented by TIAA Bank on the Jaguars Radio Network.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports-watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
Any repeated physical activity puts stress on the body. Checking your phone, getting in the car, sitting at your desk, checking the phone, getting in your car, sitting at your desk, checking your phone for the 50th time today. If you do anything with regularity, you should get massaged with regularity. Massage Envy. Keep your body working.
Regular body work makes the body work with massage, skincare, and stretch. Come in today for more information or visit massageenvy.com for more details.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank, and the Jaguars fall 41-17 to the Chicago Bears. The Bears are 8-7. They would get into the playoffs with a win next week. The Jags have lost now a franchise record 14 consecutive games for a 1-14 record. The Jets won again today, so the Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. Let's take a look at the TIAA Bank stats check from today's game, and starting with the team stats, the Bears outgained the Jaguars 391 to 279. They doubled them up on first downs, 28-14. The Bears with the advantage there. Rushing net, 128 on the ground for Chicago, 76 for the Jaguars without James Robinson today. Passing net, 263 to 203 in favor of the Bears. 4 penalties, 40 yards on Chicago. 10 penalties, 115 penalty yards on the Jaguars today. Jags had 2 turnovers. Bears had 1. And time of possession in favor of Chicago, 33 minutes on the nose today.
All right, individually, we'll start with the Jaguars side of things. Mike Glennon, 24-37, 211, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions as well. He was sacked 1 time for an 8-yard loss, quarterback rating of 75.4. On the other side, Mitchell Trubisky, 24 out of 35, so very similar there, but he threw for 265, averaging 7.6 per attempt as opposed to 5.7 for Glennon. 2 touchdowns, an interception, and Trubisky ran in a score as well. On the ground, Dare Ogunbowale, 14 carries for 71 yards for the Jaguars. He chipped in with 3 catches for 7 as well. David Montgomery, 23 carries for 95 and a score, 2 catches for 26 yards. Wide receivers and tight ends, DJ Chark, 4 for 62 and a touchdown. Laviska Shenault, 5 for 48 and a score. Allen Robinson for the Bears caught 10 for 103. Jimmy Graham caught 4 for 69, including a pair of touchdowns. And Greg Maben led the way for the Jaguars with 10 solo tackles. Joe Schobert had 6 solos, 8 total tackles, including a sack and an interception as well on the defensive side.
There you have it, the TIAA Bank stats check. Fred Taylor with us up in the broadcast booth. We mentioned it earlier, but we haven't seen much of Dare Ogunbowale on the offensive side this year. He stepped in and I thought held his own today in the running game a little bit, Fred.
Yeah, JP, he ran real well, very efficiently downhill. I mentioned earlier he skirted out for a 25-yard. His long was 25 yards. So he's a guy that definitely has some juice and can get it done. I can tell you it's better to have 2 quality backs than 2 quarterbacks trying to figure out who you're going to play.
Right.
But, yeah, I hope that James finds a way to get healthy quick so he can finish this season off as strong as he started.
Yeah, it would be nice to see him next week just to see if we can get some more milestones, Mike.
Right.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. I think everybody would be pulling for James Robinson to bring those down as much as possible. Fred, I think your rookie total yardage mark, I think, is safe. I think he needed about 230. I mean, that's a massive game for anybody. Had he been able to play all 16, you think he would have had a pretty good shot at it. But, you know, he needed the time off, I think, Fred. The defenses had been ganging up on him. He had been much less effective over the last couple weeks, so it was good to have some healthy legs in there.
Yeah, without no doubt on that, Mike. He's and again, he's a guy who definitely, I think, would have gone out there and pushed those numbers up even higher. You know, as I mentioned to him in the post game a couple weeks ago, I challenged him to go get it. I think he would have definitely deserved it. He was earned it just like he earned everything else coming in as an undrafted guy to put up the type of numbers that he put up. I don't want to go into it too much, but he was snubbed for Pro Bowl.
Oh, sure.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame a little bit,
Right.
Fred.
That's why I said I don't want to go into it too much because we had already talked about it.
Well, we can go into it again. Let's
yeah,
go.
you know what I mean? But it's just awful. It's just awful. And, you know, hopefully things can change here in Jacksonville. You got to find a way. The NFL has to find a way to recognize players, you know, that go out there and they come in every day, they work hard, they go out there and they earn these things. The kid earned an opportunity to be named a Pro Bowler. You know, whether they're not going to play the game, but he earned that opportunity to be named a Pro Bowler. And it's just unfair, you know, that they can catapult 2 guys who were way down on the rushing list and the scrimmage yards list as well. And there's a kid who just showcased his talents, man. I think he deserved that nod. So I'm looking forward to seeing him go as a Jaguar.
Let's come back in a moment, gentlemen. We will get into the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. Yes, indeed. Jaguars fall today, though. Bears 41, Jaguars 17. The Jags are 1-14 headed into the final week of the regular season. And this is Jaguars Postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about commercial fence services, from automatic gates to security fence and railing. Superior Fence and Rail's professional team delivers with great communication, trained installers, and quality products. Trust your next commercial project with a top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. Get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your commercial project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
Jaguars Game Day presented by ViStar Credit Union. If you believe free checking is better, join ViStar. That's checking with no fees and no minimums. No kidding. At ViStar, they never forget that it's your money. Welcome back, Jaguars postgame. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars fall 41-17 to the Chicago Bears. The Bears are 8-7. Jags are 1-14. The Jets beat the Browns, so the Jaguars hold the number one overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And this should be a fun offseason ahead. There is still 1 week of business to attend to, though, in the regular season.
Business or partying?
Well, all of the above will come up in the next week or so. We'll get to that game coming up in a little bit. Time now for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. If you're new to Jaguars Post Game, here's how it works. I get a vote. Mike gets a vote. But Fred, being Fred, gets a vote and a half to break any ties.
I mean, JP, I don't get a vote just because I'm Fred. That's boring.
Oh, you get a vote and a half because you're Fred.
Yeah.
Because you're Fred. You're on the wall, Fred. I mean, what do you want?
Yep.
I mean,
you want 7 votes? So we'll give you
Jaguar
7.
fans would like us on the wall, too. Different kind of wall.
The new people to the show might not know why I'm on the wall. I mean.
Really?
Oh, is that a fact?
Hey, guys, Fred Taylor's a really good football player for those just tuning in.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Man.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame
We
level.
were just
Hall of
talking
Fame
about
level.
credit where it's due. James Robinson, no Pro Bowl. Freddie T, no Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Not everybody knew I was a decent player.
Hall of Fame level
JP.
talent.
I never went to the Pro Bowl either.
Man, I mean.
I know we're not on the wall.
No.
I wasn't an Alabama Crimson Tide, so it just doesn't happen that easy, JP.
Wow.
Gosh,
This
man.
escalated quickly.
Can I get some credit?
Fred, give us your vote for player of the game, please.
All right. I don't know. I gotta
go.
go.
Oh, you don't know.
No.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
take this guy's vote away.
Take my vote away quick. I'm just gonna throw a name. I'm gonna go with DJ Chark. I gotta throw somebody out there. Sure. 7 targets, only 4 catches for 62, but it's good to see him back out there. I thought it was really good touchdown grab by him, and really that's all I got to say about it.
It's a good vote.
I didn't want to give my own defense because they gave up
41.
too many points.
Yeah,
right?
they gave up 41 today. Go ahead, Mike.
No, sorry. Too soon. I'll go with Joe Schobert. 8 total tackles, 6 solos, a sack, an interception. So there you go. Joe Schobert, I thought, had a pretty solid. I mean, it's tough when you're giving up 41 points.
Yeah, I wanted to go that route, but the 41.
Individually, I still think he had a nice day for himself.
He had a great day.
I thought you were going to go Jamison Crowder of the Jets. But,
could have gone that way as well.
I'll go, just for argument's sake, Dario Ogunbowale. We haven't seen a lot of him on the offensive side today. 14 carries, 71 yards, did not find the end zone. He did have 3 catches for 7 yards as well. That's my vote. So, because Fred gets the vote and a half, DJ Chark Jr. is the Jaguars Radio Network player of the game in today's matchup. 7 targets, 4 catches, 62 yards, and a toe-tap touchdown of 20 yards. Now, if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capability and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. No wonder it's the official truck of the NFL and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back in just a moment with a Baptist Health injury report. Final score, Bears 41, Jaguars 17. And this is Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve.
This football season, prepare your taste buds for the most iconic sports watching drink of all time, Pepsi. With refreshing deliciousness specially formulated to keep your eye on the ball and mouth-watering fizziness to help you power through game day, Pepsi has everything you need to start strong.
I used to care when Mike cheered so hard he spilled nacho cheese on my carpet, but thanks to Pepsi, even Mike can't ruin my football party.
So this football season, make Pepsi your go-to game day drink because it's the only drink made for football watching. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has the large format printing services running in high gear, creating large banners for marketing events, full vehicle wraps. Learn how Kessler changes the game with print and direct mail innovation. From eye-catching restaurant menus to real estate yard signs and event displays, Kessler does it all. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars fans, game day is back, and while it might look a little different this year, the good times, smooth drinks, and tailgate excitement will never change when you're cheering on the Jags with Jameson. So pull up a seat, pour a smooth Jameson, ginger, and lime, and enjoy game day with Jameson. Taste responsibly. Jameson Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Product of Ireland. Copyright 2020. Imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Welcome back. Jaguars postgame presented by TIAA Bank. Final score, Bears 41, Jaguars 17. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and pride of the Jaguars running back Fred Taylor. The Jaguars have secured the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft with their loss today, combined with the Jets' win over the Browns. And as you would imagine, Jaguars Twitter is spinning like a top right now. They're all over the place.
That'd be one thing that spins.
Do people spin tops anymore? I have no idea.
Well, if you have a top, that's otherwise, if you're not spinning it, you're not really getting a whole lot of use out of it.
So it's going to be like that for a long time, Fred, and it's never happened. So this is uncharted water for the Jaguars organization.
Without a doubt, JP. And I was trying to think back to see if it was as much excitement as when they announced that, Jacksonville would be getting a franchise. And then even going forward when they drafted Tony Baselli, I think those were two of the probably most exciting moments in the franchise's history. So hopefully this will be the third, and hopefully that will translate to getting back to where, the franchise was when they brought it here. Because it didn't take long for Jacksonville to start winning. They were catapulted into a AFC Championship game. What was that? Second year, Mike? Third year?
Second year.
Yeah, second year. So hopefully we can do something great with this pick and the other picks and through free agency, and eventually find some success with all of that. So this is just the beginning. The hype is real. So hopefully we're able to secure Trevor Lawrence, man, and allow him to come out and showcase his talents and give everybody something great to root for.
Just being in this position, Fred, gives you an entree with any GM candidate. You're at the top of the list now. This is the most attractive job out there. I can't think of enough. I mean, certainly among the ones that are open, there's no question in my mind with the cap space that they have, the amount of draft picks they have, the position they're in to draft a franchise quarterback, the patience that this owner has shown in the past. And you can look, and I'm sure, guys like James Robinson, Miles Jack, Josh Allen, there are a few building block pieces here as well. And you could turn things around quickly in the NFL. I expect Trevor Lawrence to come in here and start from day one. And then your mission is to surround him with enough talent while he's still on a rookie contract to put together a championship-level team. So go.
Yeah, you definitely want to make sure, Mike, that, you look at the type of system he's playing in now. Debo Swinney, you want to look at what he's done, his strengths. You just looking at Lamar Jackson, they look back and they say, oh, no, he's not. He's going to change position, or he's not going to, do X, Y, Z in the NFL because he's not the prototypical NFL quarterback. They developed an offense around this kid. Harbaugh went and they talked with the coaches at Louisville, and they made sure, look, this is what he likes to do. This is his menu of items that he absolutely loves, and this is how he thrives. I think that whomever the GM is, whatever the coaching situation turns out to be, they have to make sure they're playing at his strengths, and not just let's make him learn our philosophy. The NFL is about adaptation. You want to make sure you are able to give the kids an opportunity to be successful and sprinkle in a little bit of your philosophy. But great coaches, they find a way to adapt and find a way to get the best out of your players' strengths and abilities. And I think with that said, just looking at DJ Chark, looking at Colin Johnson, looking at Laviska Shenault, James Robinson, I would look to bring in a very dynamic tight end to open things up for those receivers I just mentioned, that group of young guys, the defensive interior. You want to make sure you put some guys in there, whether through the draft or free agency, that allow the outside pass rush to be a lot more efficient because of the interior pass rush and the ability to get after quarterback from the inside as well. So I think those are the key spots that I would try and solidify. But the quarterback being number one, obviously you can't pass up a talent of that sort that's out there. And you're right, Mike, the best GM opportunity in all of football. You don't have to pay a quarterback for the next 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So the salary cap is extremely friendly. You have some room to maneuver and bring some big names in, and also be able to pay a few guys that are here, your nucleus of players, and just build from that standpoint. So the buffet is there. Who's going to step up and eat everything that they can eat and take advantage of it?
Sounds pretty good to me. Well, let's take a look at the Baptist Health injury report. Baptist Health changing healthcare for good. A few guys nicked up today. Cam Robinson, the second quarter, looked like an ankle issue. Bruce Miller, the fullback, evaluated for a concussion and was ruled out later. Costin with a right leg issue in the third quarter. And then DJ Chark with a left leg injury because he was limping around a little bit in the fourth quarter. And there you have it, the Baptist Health injury report. James Robinson, we'll see his status as this week goes along into Week 17. He did not play in today's game. And, of course, we know the long list of players that have come and gone and are on IR this year. It has been a mass unit for the Jaguars here in 2020. Let's come back. We'll preview Week 17 when we return and get our final thoughts. This is Jaguars Postgame, presented by TIAA Bank on the Jaguars Radio Network.
Bold statement. Saving money with Geico is almost better than watching football. Think about it. When you're watching the game, yelling at the quarterback to throw the ball, throw it, Williams is wide open, why are you doing this to me? Use that rocket arm, come on! They don't listen to you. But if you went into a Geico office and yelled, "Someone please help me save some money on car insurance," everyone would hop to it, except the intern because it's his first day and he doesn't even have a computer yet. See? Better. Switch and save with Geico. It's almost better than sports.
Proven IT implements a strategic game plan designed to streamline your business for maximum results. Make the winning choice with the official business systems partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Proven IT. Proven IT's technology experts use a customized approach to understand how to design, implement, and monitor solutions that optimize your business. Proven IT provides managed network services, document management solutions, office technology, voice and data solutions, and more. Visit ProvenIT.com to see how they can streamline your business. Proven IT, transforming workplace productivity.
Hey Jaguars fans, Jack Hanania Jr. here from Jack Hanania Chevrolet Buick GMC. Right now you can shop over 1,200 used vehicles, including over 100 certified pre-owned vehicles and vehicles starting as low as $2,000. That's right, and I guarantee you, no haggle pricing, just our best price. If you're looking for a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, come see us in St. Augustine. Why buy from us? That's why.
Example 2007 Mazda CX-7 Sport. Stock number 701244232 plus tax, title, and fees. Vehicle subject prior to sale. Offers cannot be combined. See dealer for details.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back, Jaguars postgame, presented by TIAA Bank. The Bears 41 and the Jaguars 17. The Jets beat the Browns, so the Jags have the number 1 overall pick. Next week, Week 17, and it's all over. The season is over, a season that many thought this summer would not happen. There, it feels like, at least we're a week to go, they are close. They're knocking on the door of 256 games in the NFL regular season, a full slate. Could you have imagined that in June?
You know, it's a good point, JP, because there are all kinds of scenarios that got talked about. If the season gets cut in half, how do you go about setting the draft order? That was a big talking point. It wasn't necessarily like where teams were at that point. There were all kinds of different formulas that were being talked about, and you don't need to worry about it now. You've made it this far, and all the losing, franchise record losing streak is not pretty, but it gave you the ultimate prize, the opportunity to draft what is seen as a can't-miss prospect. And next week now, you get the opportunity to ruin the Colts season. The Colts had a big lead on Pittsburgh today, and they blew it. And the Steelers came all the way back and won that football game. So right now they're on the outside looking in. You can make sure that they don't make the postseason with a win next week. You can bookend your season by knocking out one of your division rivals,
How about
Fred.
that, Fred?
Yeah, it's a tall task. I mean, it's something to keep the guys motivated and finding a way to finish this season on a high note. But again, it's a tough task. The Colts will get some guys back from injuries that didn't play today for them, and plus they have a lot to play for. Here they have a night. They're 10-5. Depends on what Tennessee does tonight at Green Bay. That's going to have some huge weight and significant on how the game is played out next week, because the Titans have to play the Texans, which will probably be a tougher matchup for them. So the Colts will have a whole lot to play for when Jacksonville goes up there next week.
All right, that'll do it for Jaguars postgame. Fred, have a fantastic week. Merry Christmas belated, and Happy New Year early.
That's right. See you guys soon.
Sounds good.
Talk to you next year.
Fred Taylor,
all right, guys.
out of here. Pride of the Jaguars. Running back. Jaguars lose, but the Jaguars win. All on the same day. 41-17 is the final score. The Jags have the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft with 1 week to play in the regular season. For those on our flagship station, stick around. The Scoreboard show is next. Bucky Brooks is standing by, NFL Network analyst, and we'll take your calls at 355-NFL-1 for the next hour or so. Senior VP of Communications is Dan Edwards. VP of Production is Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio Joe Fortunato. Tony Smith and Linda Fortunato are our producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, and Max Hockman produce our shows for Jaguars.com. Now for Jeff Lageman, Fred Taylor, and Mike Dempsey. This is J.P. Shadrick saying good afternoon for the final time. The final score, Bears 41, Jaguars 17 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This is the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, Geico, and by TIAA Bank. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show starts right now.
Welcome in, Scoreboard Show. Bears 41, Jaguars 17. Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft because the Jets knocked off the Browns today. J.P. Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, your calls, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351, the number. Bucky Brooks joins us now from Los Angeles, California. The Jags lose, but the Jags gained so much at the end of the day.
Yeah, JP, Mike, it kind of worked out. The New York Jets continue to play hard, got a win against the Cleveland Browns, so NAB made it where we don't have to feel uncomfortable next week. We can actually pull for the Jaguars to win and go about their business because everything is locked up. And so I think it's a bad day, but a good day. It's a little bittersweet because we got whooped, but Trevor Lawrence.
That's what he's coming out.
Is he going to come out? Is that Bucky? You got some breaking news for us?
If he comes out,
I'm going to assume.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to assume. I think that's pretty locked in. And the thing of it is, Bucky, you go back historically, looking at this franchise. Jaguar fans have been around for a while. You passed on Ben Roethlisberger, albeit a year after you took Leftwich. You had the opportunity to draft Russell Wilson, and you took a punter instead. You could have drafted Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes, and you passed on both of them. You passed on Lamar Jackson. All these what ifs. Why didn't we take advantage of these opportunities? Well, there's no question. All those guys were debatable to some degree, obviously. This one's not even debatable, right? I mean, there's 0% chance that barring something health-related that Trevor Lawrence is not the number 1 pick, and every single GM would make the same selection regardless of which team was picking at the top.
Yeah, without doubt. He's the guy. He's number 1. I think for us as Jaguars fans and followers, the main thing we want to do is we want to knock on wood. Hopefully he gets through the playoff. Everything is cool. And then we want to put him in bubble wrap until draft day because I think it is clear. I don't think you do smoke screens or anything. You make it very obvious that he is going to be the choice. And I think what happens is now that you have the number 1 overall pick, I think it even changes the dynamic in terms of what you're looking for as a GM and potentially if Doug Marrone isn't retained, a head coach. Because for so long, I've always felt like Jacksonville has always kind of been like, not necessarily the laughing stock, but they had to beg and plead to get the kind of attention that Jacksonville deserves. Well, now I think it's this opportunity to not settle. You get a 5-star general manager. If you have to get a new head coach, you get a 5-star head coach, and you don't mess around. You go and get the best guy that you possibly can get. And I don't think this is one where you may necessarily want to wait for on-the-job training. I want a guy. Like, I want a legitimate guy that you feel like can come in, build a program, and hit the ground running with all the things that are available to him.
Let's hope Clemson loses in the first playoff game, and they don't have to play 2 games. Just play one, put him in bubble wrap, and get him out of here.
Unless he,
he'll stay healthy. Okay. Yeah,
he's
I'm
a
okay
tough
with
guy.
that.
Yeah, I said it.
Either way, it's good. There's an Alabama fan over here talking.
I don't know.
There's a small degree of fear.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Little degree of fear in J.P. Shadrick on this one, I believe.
Let's bubble wrap him. We're trying to win down here. Let's come back. Plenty of your calls. 355 NFL 1 will be here for an hour after the Jaguars lose in Week 16. 41-17. Bears over the Jags. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
The wait for the holidays is over, America. It's time to make some joy. And we're here to help with the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event. We're offering the best deals of the season across the Ford lineup, so you can road trip with the whole family comfortably in a Ford Expedition. Bring home a tree that's bigger than you ever have with a built Ford Tough F-150. And find new ways to make the holidays bright this year when you visit your local Ford dealer. The joy is up to you, America, so let's get to it. Ford, built for the holidays.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that means treating people better with friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting when you enter the branch, an online or phone chat for those quick questions, and a call center that's open every day. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Jaguars fans, did you know that with Drizzly, you can get Tito's handmade vodka delivered to your door in under 60 minutes? Well, you can. And now they're giving all fans $10 off their first order. Use the code JAGS10 at checkout. Just download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com and make sure you're all set to mix it up with Tito's handmade vodka for the perfect game day. That's DRIZLY.com. And remember to use the special code JAGS10 to save $10 on your first order. 80 proof Tito's handmade vodka. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Crafted to be safe and responsibly.
In Florida, bicyclists have the same rights and responsibilities as everyone else on the road. So when you ride, follow the rules. Always wear a helmet and use lights on your bike. And drivers, watch for cyclists. Give them space to ride. And don't forget, when making that right on red, look to your right first to see if a cyclist is approaching in the bike lane. We all have a responsibility to keep ourselves and each other safe. Alert today, alive tomorrow. Because safety doesn't happen by accident. This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Pinpoint, the official signage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, helps business decision makers like you maximize the impact of their brand. Your company's identification, advertising, and even the words you use make an impression on your clients. With Pinpoint as your coach, you can make sure it's a good impression. Pinpoint provides the creative design and production services for anything you need to enhance your brand, from custom signage to complete marketing solutions. Step up your game with Pinpoint and create the ultimate brand experience for your clients. Visit experiencepinpoint.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. Your calls, we'll get to them here in just a moment. We'll be here for until the next hour. So the next 50 minutes or so, plenty of time for you to get in after a Jaguars loss to the Bears today, 41-17. Jags are now 1-14. They have the number 1 overall pick, and I'm sure there's a lot of excitement, most likely, I'm going to guess, on the phone calls today. Mike, what do you think?
I mean, look, it was so exciting last week when we were just watching the Jets. It was still the first half at this point, right? We were like, they have a lead. It's, and it was a much better team. We didn't think that was going to be possible. And then this week, Bucky, I mean, honestly, I think Jaguar fans have a little bit of a feeling like, man, nothing ever goes right for us, just on this kind of scale, right? And then to find out last night that Cleveland had to put 6 guys on the COVID-19 list on Saturday night, including the top 4 receivers on their depth chart when they're getting ready to play the Jets. I mean, it was almost like, okay, you know what? You passed on this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. All these things happen. All these guys didn't make the Pro Bowl because they play in a small market. We're making it up to you. The football gods kind of made it up to them last. I mean, what more could have gone right for the Jags in the last couple weeks than to have that scenario play out in Cleveland, Bucky?
Santa Claus has been working overtime.
He
for us
was, man.
He was working. He decided he forgot some things, needed to bring some more packages back. And so that's why on Saturday night he said, hey, I forgot some stuff, so I'm going to make sure that you get exactly what you want off your list. And this is what's crazy about the situation. I think the difference between the Jaguars and the Jets clearly are a much better team because they had lost some games that they were in that they kind of frittered away, New England, the Raiders. And then when you see them play against the Rams and the way they played against the Browns today, like they were a team that is still playing very, very hard. And I think Jacksonville has played hard, but sometimes after a while you get despondent, you just kind of let go of the rope. And I think for the Jets today, because they were up and then the Browns came all the way back and then they fought tooth and nail to hold on to get that win. So hats off to them. They get the number 2 overall pick, and they can go do whatever it is they want to do. But I think for Jacksonville, I think this is a great opportunity because, to me, I think it's an opportunity to really do a franchise reset all around. And I know we've talked about, like, we have good young players that are there, but I think whoever comes in and gets this job, I think you have to look at everybody that's on the roster and really make sure that we build the roster the right way because you don't want to be in this situation again. It's been miserable to watch this team lose 14 straight games. You want them competing for division titles and championships. And so this needs to be an opportunity to really get better with all the things that are available. Hopefully we can use this as a launching pad to become a perennial contender.
Amen to that. All right, let's go to the phone lines for the first time and find out what some of that reaction sounds like. We'll begin with Michael in Sanford. Michael, you're on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. I got to say, I am just blissful right now. Like, I am so happy. Like, we have here's the thing. Like, in years past, we always try and, like, find reasons for hope. Like, it's like we convinced ourselves that Gene Smith was smarter than everyone, right? Because we wanted to feel good and feel optimistic. Well, now we have an actual, logical, real reason for hope. Like, we have these draft picks. Like, we have the cap space. Like, you guys actually took basically most of my talking points away already. But we are the right opportunity for people who are great to go show it. And they're going to. And there's a quarterback who could easily is supposed to be one of the better ones in the league from day one. Like, now we have a genuine real reason for hope. And I couldn't feel better about it.
I think you're speaking on behalf of a lot of folks out there, Michael, and well put. So good one to start with right there.
Yeah.
Bucky, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, no, I think everyone's going to focus on the quarterback, and rightfully so. But I think it's really important that the person who's tasked with rebuilding the program is the right person. And I think it's one of those opportunities where if you're Shad Khan and crew, take your time. Don't feel rushed to make a decision. Take your time and make sure it's the right guy that can build the culture that you see fit. And I think it's just really, really important. And don't settle. I'm going to continue to say that, like, just don't settle because it's easy or it's comfortable or whatever. But make sure that guy can articulate his vision and he has a plan to put that vision into practice.
Well, you're right about that because you or I, any of us, could make the first pick, right? But what about those other 10? The other first rounder, the 2 second rounders, the 2 fourth rounders, the 2 fifth rounders. How about all that cap space that you've got? Yeah, so there's a lot of decisions that need to go right for this team to turn it around as quickly as we'd like them to, but they've got that chance. Michael, thank you. Let's go next out to Jimmy on the west side here on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, Jimmy.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was curious. I saw something today on the game that I've never seen before on the NFL sideline. and that's the coach on the telephone, on a cell phone. When Coach Marrone was leaving the field just before he got to the tunnel, he got a call. And he was standing there with the phone when the camera showed him talking on it. And I was just wondering if he might have got a call from Mr. Khan saying, hey, back it down some.
No, I doubt that highly.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think rules are against like being able to use like technology on the field. So I don't know like what he could have been doing. I don't know if he like I don't know how the radio situation plays out, if maybe he was doing something like that at halftime. But typically you can't have any contact or anything like that on the sideline. So it'd be interesting to see what that was all about. But
did you see it, Bucky? We didn't have the CBS.
Yeah, we have the in-house feed on here, so we didn't. I
didn't see it. I didn't see it. You know, halftime is time for me to go get snacks. So
I seriously doubt. It's not like Shad Khan has been hibernating. He's well aware of the circumstance leading into this weekend. If he wanted to use his influence, he had all week to do that.
All right? And by the way, here's what I'm told also. That's how they're doing halftime reports these days on the phone about injuries and such, getting back to the field. So that is kind of how that works. That's how I'm told.
Right. So, again, there's plenty of opportunity for Shad Khan for all we could tell, according to Doug Marrone, didn't have a conversation with anybody about it. So Shad let the chips fall, and they have fallen in a very good position right now.
Basically, it's an info for the sideline reporter, I believe, for television.
Okay.
Is the way I understand that. So there you go. That's the way they can have the interaction with the head coach. Let's come back. More of your calls. Plenty of time. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. And this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Jaguars fans, let's tackle social injustice together on game days with Selfies for Change. Visit TIAAbank.com/selfies for change to take a virtual selfie with a Jaguars player and unlock a $5 donation to the Jaguars Foundation to help fight social injustice. Share your photo on Instagram or Twitter using hashtag Selfies for Change so more fans can be part of the movement. Join us on game days at TIAAbank.com/selfies for change. TIAA Bank is the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Brooks Rehabilitation outpatient locations throughout Florida are currently open and accepting in-person and telehealth appointments. They're following CDC guidelines to include screenings, temperature checks, face masks, social distancing, and additional sanitizing of all surfaces. They're taking extra precautions to ensure your safety so you can focus on your recovery. Please call their central intake unit at 904-345-7277, option 3 to schedule your visit. Brooks Rehabilitation is the official rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If you've ever been in a vehicle crash, then you know the impact caused by a collision. Now imagine the force of a crash so great, people are killed. My name is Eric. I sat behind the wheel and drove drunk. I caused a crash that killed 2 young women, Megan and Lisa. Now, I sit alone in my jail cell. Megan and Lisa were taken forever, and their families and friends were left devastated. Don't drink and drive, and remember our roadways are connected to our families.
This message brought to you by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Nothing kicks off your game better than a handful of Georgia peanuts. Power packed with protein, essential nutrients, and great taste. Georgia peanuts are the MVP for affordability, sustainability, and nutrition. To score life's touchdowns with recipes and fun facts, check out GAPeanuts.com. The perfectly powerful peanut is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Peanut Commission.
Peanuts! Get your peanuts!
Some things make a house your home. Like endless hot water that makes the tranquility from an everyday shower your thing. When heating water with natural gas, you have hot water when you need it, save money, and earn a rebate up to $675. Your home. Our safe, reliable, efficient energy. Love natural gas. Find rebate details at peoplesgas.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. Final score, Bears 41, Jaguars 17. The Scoreboard Show presented by TIAA Bank. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks. Jaguars fall. They've dropped 14 consecutive games. It is a franchise record alone. It was tied for the franchise record-long skid from season to season. The last 5 games of 2012 and then the first 8 of 2013. Now it's 14 in a row for the Jags for a 1-14 record with 1 game to play in this regular season. As you've mentioned, if you've just joined us, the Jets won as well, so the Jags have the number 1 overall pick. And there is a lot of positivity on these phone calls early, Mike.
Yes, there is. So let's see if it continues. We go down to Orlando. Welcome Matt to the Scoreboard Show. Matt, you're on with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. Thank you guys for letting me on the show. I just want to say this is probably one of the proudest days. I've called it on this show. A little upset, a little bit happy, up, down. We've all been through it. But today's a good day, gentlemen. Today we get to sit back, relax, and go beat Indy next week and not even worry about it, get our first-round draft pick. I just want to go down the list, and I want to bring everybody back down memory lane.
Oh, boy.
We had Mark Brunell, of course. But then after that, it was been sad and abysmal. I love Brian Leftwich. I love David Garrard.
You love Brian Leftwich?
Brian? I forgot Brian.
His name is Byron. I don't know how much you loved him, but
yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this list. Let's go down. Luke McCown, Blaine Gabbert, Chad Henne, then Blake Bortles, Cody Kessler, and obviously I love Gardner. Honestly, I'm still a Gardner fan. He's going to be a great either our backup quarterback or somewhere else.
Bucky,
in the league,
no.
It's fine.
Bucky's a no on that.
It's a no for me, dog.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep going.
What's that? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's a no on Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, good luck for him. Nick Foles, yeah, we saw what happened with Nick Foles. He came in, scored 1 touchdown, broke his collarbone, he's gone. It's all good. But anyways, it's just a great day to finally be proud of the Jaguars. I've been defending them. I've been loyal my whole life. I've been getting clowned on my whole life about these dang Jaguars. So it's a beautiful day to finally have Trevor Lawrence come in. And I was just thinking today what it would be like to actually have the Super Bowl parade in Jacksonville. I don't know. Come on, somebody. Let's get it. Duval. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
All right. There was a lot to decipher out of that call.
It's
a long list, Bucky, is what that is. A long list of guys.
A very.
He left some names out too. He didn't complete the entire list, but you know.
I mean, he tried to read through all of it. I think here's the thing, because there's gonna be a lot of attention on Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence will enter Duval with a lot of pressure on him because.
We've lost Bucky.
We didn't lose him. He just froze up.
He's frozen. We'll get back to Bucky in just a minute.
All right, let's get back to the phone calls.
But he's right. There's pressure on him, but there's going to be pressure on him no matter where he goes. That's what it's going to be.
He's one of the most hyped quarterbacks to come into the league ever. He's more hyped than Peyton Manning was. I mean, people.
Right. Remember, Peyton and Ryan Leaf were neck and neck. Remember, that was like a coin flip.
Now, it may not have been 50-50, but there was a debate as to who would be who should be the top quarterback selected there. You
know, it's funny, guys, if we go back, because he'll actually have to kind of break he'll have to be different than the norm as the number 1 overall pick if he's able to lead the franchise to the Super Bowl, because that's typically not what happens. I mean, I want to say John Elway, Troy Aikman. It's one other quarterback that was the number 1 overall
Terry
pick
Bradshaw.
that won it. Yeah, that won it. Most of the
Peyton
guys
Manning.
at the top of the board, Peyton Manning. But it's uncommon for that guy to just, we drop him in and away we go. And so it's just really important that the team is built up to support him. He is a fantastic prospect, but it's going to take more than just Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville to go from being the doormat to being a perennial contender to being a Super Bowl winner.
Oh, no doubt. It's still the most important piece you could have added happened right there, in my opinion. All right. Thank you, Matt. Let's go to Sakib next up here, checking in on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Sakib.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm the most important piece in Jaguars history, okay? So
the most consistent, I'll say that.
To quote Bucky Brooks, that's a no for me, dog.
This is the best day. This is the best day in Jaguars history. We have a number 1 overall pick, okay? Whoever's the GM, whoever's the head coach, they have an easy job to do right now is pick that kid and give us some hope. Because we haven't had any hope since 2017. We haven't had nothing to cheer about with this organization since 2017, since the AFC Championship game, okay? This is the easiest pick the Jacksonville Jaguars will ever have in the franchise history. Do your job. And one more thing, guys. The other guys are going to come to Jacksonville because of Trevor. The other guys are going to come here. The free agents are going to come here because of that kid. He's a winner. I'm a Florida State fan. I hated playing against him, but I am going to be rooting for this kid the next couple of weeks because he's going to be a franchise quarterback for us. And thank you, God. Thank you, Jets. I love you so much. You guys have a good one.
All right.
Thank you, 8-pound, 6-ounce baby Jesus. Thank you very much. A Jags fan and a Knowles fan. That's
Thank
a tough,
whoever you like,
That's
man.
a tough duo right there, by the way. But he's happy, Bucky. Everybody's happy right now.
He is happy. And look, I think the kid is the right kid in terms of like being able to handle everything, because I think the more that we begin to dig into Trevor Lawrence, the more we'll like the fact that he's mature about his responsibilities. He understands how to be the face of the franchise because he's been that down in Clemson for 3 years. He's an outstanding player. Everyone knows. We've seen him play. And so it's just a matter of getting him in and making sure that we support it and build it the right way. I think that's the bigger thing, because when you look at dropping Trevor Lawrence in, okay, what is the way that you proceed? Did you build up the offense so he can have success right away? Do you build the defense and hope that he's talented enough to keep the offense afloat? The path to building a title contender will be interesting for the next team builder.
All right, back to the phones we go. Dean on the south side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Dean.
Yeah, it's kind of sealed the deal as far as potentially renewing for next year's season tickets, though, now that we got a real quarterback. I mean, it was kind of funny hearing Rich Gannon make out the Glennon be like the next thing since sliced bread as far as being quarterback. I mean, this guy coming in, Trevor Lawrence, is the deal. Now we got to get a GM in here and a coach that can, your guest is saying about getting the rest of the team up and running, though, as far as provide protection for Trevor Lawrence. Because if you don't provide a team, I mean, it's just going to be, he'll just get beat up like Burrow got torn ACL this year with Cincinnati. So, but they made a good point this morning in the pregame. I've been listening to a lot of the pregame on 10-10 during the COVID crisis, and they made a point this morning about the college coaches and bringing them in, whether it's Dabo Swinney or Urban Meyer, and just not going to work because these guys have coached with the best talent, and they've coached at the college level. So we need to get somebody in here at the pro level, both in the GM position and the head coach position, that can basically it's a no-brainer drafting Trevor Lawrence number one, but building a team around him so we can win here in Jacksonville finally after all these years of failed draft picks.
So when were you out of season tickets? Were you a holder before?
Yeah, I've been a holder for all the years. Like I say, I opted out this year for the COVID because I went down for the Pittsburgh game. But I've been a season ticket for 10 to 15 years.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to having you back after all this COVID goes away with a new quarterback next year.
Yeah, like I say, I'm really excited. Like I say, I mean, I just, the journeyman, and like I say, trying to make Minshew be another Tom Brady as a 6th-round draft pick. I mean, he just couldn't, they kept saying he couldn't drive the ball downfield, so it's just, I think Trevor Lawrence, I think all the experts, the draft experts, are saying hands down he's the deal, though. So I'm really excited for the Jags for 2021.
Appreciate the phone call. Thank you very much. And one draft expert here agrees with us.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to push back on what he said about the college coach.
Me too.
The college coach, Urban Meyer and Dabo Swinney. I believe this. When we talk about this job being a job, I believe there is something to having a guy who has already built programs at multiple places because they have a formula. I think that gives them advantage. I've seen the reports about Urban Meyer and Urban Meyer having an interest in jumping to the National Football League. And I would say right now, I would endorse Urban Meyer as a guy, not only because I've talked to him multiple times about it, and we've seen his product go from Bowling Green to Utah to Florida to Ohio State with success. Like, we've seen him build those things. And I don't believe the pro game is drastically different than the college game. Sure, when you're at Ohio State and Florida, you've had like 4 and 5 star talents, and the recruiting is the driving force. But really, the leadership job, the head coach, or whatever that is, the footballs are, it's about creating a culture from top to bottom. And because those guys, Urban and Dabo, have done it and done it successfully, I don't think it would be much of a transition for them to be able to come to Jacksonville or NFL franchise and build a winner.
Yeah, I have no interest in Urban Meyer coming to Jacksonville. The programs he's run, when he leaves, you find out just what the seedy underbelly looks like, and I wouldn't trust him to stick around more than, as long as it takes him to try to stretch his back out. Oh, is his back this time? Or I don't know. I have no interest in Urban Meyer. I think Urban Meyer's look, he may end up being the coach, and if he is, I hope he wins a bunch of Super Bowls here. But I have zero interest in Urban Meyer being the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dabo by a mile over him.
Let me ask you this, though.
I think Urban is a much better program builder than Dabo. The only reason I say that is because having watched him do it at multiple spots, small places, with all the resources, without all the resources. Then when he has the resources, like it's always been the same thing. I think with Dabo, like it's been great down in Clemson. He's only been in one thing, and I'm sure that he can implement a culture. But for someone who has built programs, I think it's important that you've seen multiple success stories. And I think we would see that like a Brian Kelly. We would see that with a Matt Campbell. It's just interesting to go about it. Dabo can do it. It's also local because he's only 400 miles down the road. But I still would lean a little more towards Urban than Dabo in terms of just knowing the pro game a little bit differently.
Would you have to give a guy like Urban Meyer more control as a head coach, or can you just say, hey, Urban, build the coaching football side of things and then let the GM pick the 53? Or how would you have to attract somebody like that?
I think the way this thing goes now in the league, I think you're seeing more owners kind of lean towards, hey, I'm going to hire the head coach and then have the head coach bring in his personnel man, because it's really, really challenging to get a separate general manager and a separate head coach to kind of see the game through the same eyes and have the same vision. Whereas if you hire the head coach, he's going to hire someone who kind of sees it like he sees it. And then you tie them both at the hip. They both sign the same kind of deal. And then you go ahead with it. We saw that in San Francisco with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. We've seen it in other places. I think it'll probably be something like that. I think it's really, really hard to bring in a guy as accomplished as Urban or Dabo and not give them the keys to the kingdom.
Let's come back. Plenty of time. A couple more segments ahead. We'll be here till the top of the hour with more of your calls. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. An eventful program this afternoon. Bears 41, Jaguars 17. And this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At ViStar, we believe in better. Better convenience, so members can bank any way they want. Whether it's at a branch, on a mobile device, or at one of more than 20,000 fee-free ATMs across North America. We believe that people have better things to do with their time. If you believe that convenience is better, join ViStar. We never forget that it's your money. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
Jaguars fans, whether it's on the field or in your finances, the key to success is a solid plan. From high-yield banking to home lending, into retirement and beyond, TIAA Bank offers solutions that can help you achieve your goals and make the most of your money. It's time for a plan. Start building your legacy today at TIAABank.com/Jaguars. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, equal housing lender, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Why live with foot or ankle pain? If you have persistent pain, numbness, tingling, burning pain on the bottom of your foot, or swelling that doesn't improve with home treatment, it may be time to see Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute. Our foot and ankle specialists have innovative new options to help you get back in the swing of things without persistent pain that slows you down. Call JOI 2000 or go to joionline.net for an appointment.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and I am proud to announce that Good Greek Moving and Storage is now the official mover of your Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are making all of the right moves, and you should too. So when it's time for you to move, do it like the Jags and call the Good Greek. Simply dial ** Greek from your cell or go to goodgreek.com. That's goodgreek.com. Good Greek Moving and Storage, official movers of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Jaguars fans, Brian Sexton here. I've discovered something that will take your tailgates to the next level this football season. Bernie Grills. You've never seen anything like these portable all-wood grills. Bernie's are convenient, affordable, and simple to use with no messy cleanup. Bernie's real alder wood flavor makes burgers and brats taste delicious. I grilled some steaks on mine the other night, and they were incredible. So get your Bernie Grill for the next game at berniegrill.com or at Amazon. Bernie Grill. Light. Grill. Done.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. We'll be here till the top of the hour with your calls. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. The final score today, Bears 41, Jaguars 17. The Jaguars have the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And people are excited about it, as you can tell by the calls in the first half hour of our program. I'm sure the second half hour will be more of the same, Mike.
Let's find out. Tyler in Arlington next up on the Scoreboard Show with Bucky Brooks. Go ahead, Tyler.
Hey, guys. Just a quick question. Out of all the general manager, head coaching, sets that people that are out there, who do you think would be most impactful for the Jaguars going forward?
Thanks for the call, Bucky. I'll let you. That's a wide open question, so you could go a lot of different ways here.
Yeah, it is. It is wide open. There are a few different ways to do it. I feel like an experienced general manager is necessary, but trying to find the right one to match up with ownership. There are a couple of different guys. John Dorsey will be interesting just because of the talent that he's accumulated in both stops. First at Kansas City, then at Cleveland. He left both of those places pretty stockpiled when he was either dismissed or moved on to different situations. I think Rick Smith being in the division, I think that's interesting because 8 winning seasons in 12 years, the number 1 picks that they had from Deshaun Watson, Javen Clowney, J.J. Watt, DeAndre Hopkins. There are going to be guys that you hear that are kind of under the radar, and I think it's important to throw those names out. Ed Dodds is one. He is right up under Chris Ballard in Indianapolis, has a great eye for talent. Kind of leans towards like an old school approach when it comes to building the team. Joe Shane up in Buffalo, who has kind of been rumored and talked about, he was instrumental in helping the Bills kind of come back. We were together in Carolina, and so small market team. And then, obviously the one that's the wild card is like Louis Riddick coming in and interviewing. Having played with Louis, we played together in Oakland, but having had conversations and really listened to him talk. He's very influenced by his time with like Nick Saban and Bill Belichick. The thing is, he's never really pulled the trigger at a high level like that. So it may take a little bit of a time to adjust. I think there are plenty of candidates. I think the main thing is who are they bringing with them, the people that work up under them, and then who is the head coach that is going to be tied with them if they elect to move on from Doug Marrone. I think that's really, really important because those two guys have to be in lockstep when it comes to building the team and building the franchise back up.
Hey, Bucky, how do you feel about Mike Borgonzi, who's the Chiefs' director of football operations? He is, for a lot of people, you read the articles about potential GM candidates, he is the number 1 on a lot, not necessarily specifically for this team, but just in general. Do you have an opinion on him?
No, look, everyone that comes from that Kansas City tree right now is going to be popular. Brett Veach, who went with Andy Reid from Philadelphia and came there. Ryan Poles, who's also there. Mike certainly will get some attention. Knowing a little bit about like how those guys go, I just know how John Dorsey did a lot of that like personnel work or whatever. And so he really set the foundation because he and Andy Reid worked hand in hand to kind of get that going. And then it got a little sideways for him. And then Brett Veach really took it over. I would skew more towards the guys who really were instrumental in picking the players. I'm not saying that you have to be the best scout to be the best general manager, But in terms of just seeing it and understanding exactly what it looks like, I skew more towards the quote-unquote football guys as opposed to the numbers guys. And that's not being disrespectful for the cap guys and the number guys and those things.
Jerry Reese was reported to be a name linked to the Jaguars today as well, former GM, Giants.
Now, I will say this about Jerry. Jerry, longtime Giants personnel man, up under George Young, then Ernie Accorsi. And talking to Jerry, Jerry would, I can say that like his philosophy is he's going to build a big offensive and defensive line. He used to tell me when they were the Giants, they were called the Giants for a reason. And that George Young used to always talk about, with the Giants, we believe in big people. And so it's more of a height, weight, speed deal. JP, you can relate to this because a lot of what Nick Saban has done down at Alabama kind of adheres to that philosophy because it was passed down from Parcells to Belichick. And Saban and these guys will tell you there's a reason why you don't put middleweights in the ring with heavyweights. And so size matters when you build in the team. And so Jerry believes in that. And so would it be a lot of emphasis would be placed on the measurables, the size, making sure your team is big and physical. And I think in that division, in the AFC South, when you look at Tennessee and Indianapolis and even Houston, you have to be big and physical in the trenches to be able to deal with those teams. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. He has had a lot of success. New York is a hard market. They kind of came at them, but they did win 2 Super Bowls under his watch.
All right, thank you, Tyler. We move along to James on the south side next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, James.
Oh, James is out of here.
James got a little nervous, I think, for his big moment.
Fright.
Right there.
big moment. Too big for him.
Wow. All right, well, let's take a timeout. We've got one more segment ahead and some time to get some more calls before we call it an evening. If you don't get in here, the 5th quarter is coming up. The Bears over the Jaguars today, 41-17, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
The best thing about working at Farrah & Farrah is all of the employees. We all work together. It's extremely enjoyable to come to work every day.
There's a common cause or goal. No matter what your job is, we're all there for the client.
We are dedicated to our clients 100%. We do everything it takes to maximize the value of their claims.
Farrah & Farrah is really the Farrah family. When they choose us, they choose a family to fight for them and to protect them and to make sure that they're in a good place and that they have somebody on their side.
Farrah & Farrah, here for you, here for good. Jacksonville.
If something's been hurting, aching, or bothering you, don't ignore it any longer. It's time to take care of your health again. It's time to make an appointment with a Baptist Health primary care doctor or specialist. Call 904-202-4U to schedule a virtual visit or see a doctor in person at a Baptist Health location. The time for better health is here. Call 904-202-4YOU or visit getbetterjacks.com.
You're working from home. So how do you connect with coworkers and clients? With RingCentral, the #1 global communication solution for business. RingCentral makes talking, texting, collaborating, and video calls easy. And it's all on one platform. And when we say everyone should be connected, we mean it. It's why we're giving RingCentral free to educators, health providers, and nonprofits. Learn more at ringcentral.com. Welcome to the new RingCentral.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you ready to talk some trash? Well, nobody talks trash quite like Waste Pro, the official waste service and recycling partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Specializing in residential and commercial solid waste and recycling collection, processing, and disposal, Waste Pro is equipped to handle all your recycling and garbage removal needs. For service, call 904-731-7288. Waste Pro, caring for communities and caring for Jacksonville.
NFL fans, go to NFLshop.com and get your favorite player's jersey, name, and number t-shirt or collectible. Are you ready for the next game? Shop now for the most up-to-date assortment for all 32 teams, including face coverings, NFL Shop has game day covered with jerseys, apparel, and at-home essentials for cheering on your team. You'll choose from the largest assortment for all 32 teams, as NFL Shop is the destination for officially licensed NFL gear. Head to NFLshop.com today for your special offer.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. The Scoreboard Show. Bears 41, Jaguars 17. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, NFL Network analyst Bucky Brooks, and your calls 355-NFL-1 will be here for the next 15 minutes, and then the fifth quarter show will take over, and then we'll be busy for 2 hours after that as well. We've been busy already here. The Jags lost, 14 consecutive losses now, but the Jaguars do have the number 1 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft secured.
They do, and we've got a lot of folks wanting to talk about it, and I'm sure it's going to be the hot topic of conversation all the way up until April and beyond. But Tim in Mandarin gets in next here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Tim. How are you?
Doing well, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Great. What's up?
Just had a thought. If we take in we do everything that everybody's already talked about. I don't want to retread that, but I want to throw something in a little bit new and a little bit different. If our city council approves Lot J, if we get Trevor Lawrence in here, all these people are going to buy season tickets that say that they haven't. Number one, I've had season tickets for 26 years, so I'm not worried about me. But I am worried about are the games still going to go to London, or would Shad be willing to help us get a discount to go to those games as well? I'll take your opinions off there.
Appreciate the call. I will say there is no contract currently for London games in the future, so that all is kind of on hold at the moment. No, we were actually chatting about this before the game, Mike, you and I.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that in the grand scheme of things, I think it still is probably still a point that maybe you still at least want one at some point, especially if they add a 17th game.
Right. It's my understanding that even if you sell out these games here, you're going to make more on a London game than you will here. So it's still a good revenue boost. I do think the season ticket base is going to explode this offseason. I mean, just like to numbers we haven't seen in years and years and years.
You might want to call tomorrow.
But in terms of the rest, I really don't know, JP. You made the most important point. There's no contract for that beyond right now, so we just don't know. It's up in the air.
Because any of those games, I don't think there are any right now. They're waiting to see what happens with the pandemic and COVID-19 and everything. And at some point soon, Bucky, those games need to be scheduled before the schedule is released in late April or early May, whenever it comes out this year. Those games have to be on the docket and maybe even announced in February, March. That's when that usually happens.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think the Jaguars should continue to go overseas because having worked over there, man, the last 3 years in December, like there is a huge Jaguars contingent, like a set of fans that follow them. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Trevor Lawrence is a rock star. Trevor Lawrence has international appeal. If you want to elevate the brand, you want to kind of treat him like the rock star he is and put him on the road and let people see and fall in love with him and the team. So I think at least one game in London at a minimum is probably necessary to continue to build the brand beyond just kind of being like a small market or a regionalized team. You want this team to kind of be known beyond the walls of the 904.
All right, the last one on the line for now is James on the south side. James, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, buddy.
Hey, Mike. I listen to 1010XL every day. You know, do a Jag station, but I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? As a fan, it hurts to get beat down every weekend and all that. And I was wondering, as you guys, you know, being the media, do you guys feel the same way? Are you upset about it? Everybody's talking about Trevor Lawrence or happy we lost and all, but you know, people are laughing at us. What do you guys feel about it? It hurts to watch on TV get beat down that way.
Sure, it does. I mean, we live and die with them every week in here. You don't see it behind the scenes, but when you've reached a point where you're not going anywhere. You're out of the playoffs. I was full on rooting for this team to lose the last few weeks when the Jets especially after last week, when the Jets put them in position to control the number one pick. I mean, you've come this far. You've suffered this much. This is an opportunity to stop being the laughingstock, to really be a destination franchise, to have a guy like Trevor Lawrence attract some of those free agents to come in here and attract, as Bucky, you pointed out, a 5-star GM, a 5-star head coaching situation. That's ultimately what they decide to do and pivot in that direction. And look, it doesn't matter where you play. Is Kansas City some hot market out there? Well, guess what? They have Patrick Mahomes, so they are the sexy team in the National Football League right now. And I think the Jags can, if Trevor Lawrence is what he's cracked up to be, Bucky, and I'll tell you, Jim Mora Jr., I don't know what your opinion on him is of a analyst and a evaluator of talent. I've mentioned this several times, but he was on with me maybe a couple months ago on Sirius XM, and he said he thought at that time he'd watch every game Trevor had ever played and felt he was one of the 7 best quarterbacks in football. Not college football, in football. At that moment, right then, there were only about a half dozen quarterbacks in the NFL that were better than him currently. Give him a little experience. I mean, this guy, there's not a tool that he doesn't have in the toolkit. So, yeah, it stinks that the Jags have been as bad as they've been for as long as they've been. And sometimes we approach it with gallows humor. But, I mean, are you kidding me? We all want to see that Super Bowl parade heading down Bay Street eventually. I mean, that would be the greatest sporting event in the history of this city, and by a wide margin, you know? So, yeah, we're all on board with that, Buck.
Yeah, I'm on board with it, too. And it's hard for me because this has been probably one of the more difficult things to kind of embark on, is to really pour for the Jags, but then to come to the realization, you know, we're here, we might as well get the reward for all the suffering, right? And so when you get close enough to have an opportunity to get a transcendent player to be the quarterback of your team, like we've seen the difference that it makes. Like Kansas City was already good with Alex Smith, but they are different with Patrick Mahomes. When you see like what Russell Wilson has been able to do with the Seattle Seahawks, when you look at just the optimism that is existing in LA with Justin Herbert, it makes a difference. It's a huge difference. Now, we got to make sure that we surround them with the right pieces or whatever, but the hardest piece of the puzzle to find is the quarterback. And once you find the quarterback, and if he's legit like we all believe that he is, yeah, like now it makes it easier because you have that done now. How can we best build the team or build the offense around his talents to make sure he has everything that he needs so he can get us to the promised land? Like, I mean, that's what it's about. And I will say this just in playing, and I will say this from a Jaguar standpoint, when Mark Brunell was at his best and having played with Brett Favre and Jim Kelly and those guys, the only thing that you ever want as a player is to have the hope that all we got to do is get the ball back. If we get the ball back and give it to him, we have a chance. That's what everybody wants. We want to be able to sit there and watch the game with 2 minutes left. The Jaguars have the ball. Trevor has the ball at the 20, and to feel like, oh, something good is going to happen. Absolutely. That's what a franchise quarterback gives you, optimism.
It's been a while.
JP roots for the Jags. I know that.
Well, I mean, I work for the Jags. I better root for the Jags. You know, I mean, come on, of course.
But, you know, I get it. People think, you know, you could be detached and you can be objective and all these things. And you know, look, it's hard not to get caught up in wanting the team to have success, no matter how objective you want to be about things. I mean, I will come right out and tell you I want the Jaguars to win every time they play, up until they find themselves in a position to alter the course of their destiny. And I mean, I don't think I'm overselling this. Maybe I am. If Trevor Lawrence turns out to be something significantly less than we think he can be, then yeah, then it was a lot of hype. But I mean,
you still got to swing the bat on this.
You got, and it's such a no-brainer, right? I mean,
yeah. And so I would say this, Mike, to think about it, right? Just think about all of the fanfare that came in with Andrew Luck, right?
Sure.
And let's just say the Andrew Luck thing didn't turn out the way that we all thought because injuries cut it short. But just think about that 7-year run that Indy had with him and how they felt about their team when Andrew Luck ran onto the field.
No doubt.
That's what we all want. All we want is the hope of knowing that because we have a guy, we have a chance to win each and every week. That's what everyone wants. That's why it's such a big deal when you have an opportunity to get a guy like a Trevor Lawrence. That's why you want to cash the lottery ticket in and take advantage of it.
The Colts were a 2-win team.
Yep.
And then the first 3 years, Andrew Luck went 11-5, 11-5, 11-5. And yeah, does it guarantee you're going to win a bunch of Super Bowls? No. How much would Jaguar fans give to have 3 straight 11-5 seasons? I mean, after the last 12 years that you've been through, it's crazy.
Yeah. And here's the thing that we always want to think about it, because it's so easy to get caught up in the Super Bowl or whatever. The main thing you want to be able to do is each and every year we want to make sure that we can get to the tournament, because as long as you get into the playoffs, you have a chance. And the easiest way to get into the playoffs is to win the division. So the immediate goal should be, let's see if we can dominate and own the AFC South. Because if we own the AFC South, that gives us a lottery ticket into the postseason. And once you get there, who knows what? In 2017, the Jaguars weren't supposed to go to the Super Bowl, but they were maybe a bad call away from going to the Super Bowl. And so that's all you want. You just want to be able to get in there and dance with the 6 other teams and see if we're good enough to maybe this is our year to go to the ship.
Love it.
Love it. A lot of fun days ahead on sports radio and podcasts and internet streams and all the rest, with the Jaguars looking forward to the 2021 NFL Draft. The more immediate future, though, is next week. The Jaguars visit the Indianapolis Colts in Week 17, and Bucky, they can wreck some dreams at Indy next week.
Well, yeah, like now they can go play. Like all the pressure is off, because the thing that would have been awful would be to be in a situation where now you kind of need to lose to make sure that you get it. But now we know exactly what it is. So now everyone can go play. You can call the game the way you want to play it. We don't have to sit here and hem and haw about, should they tank or not? Now they can go play and get a win and maybe, finish out the season the right way. Give us some momentum going into 2021.
And ruin the Colts season.
Yeah,
if they beat the
right.
Colts are on the outside looking in right now. They're in the 8th spot in a 17 playoff field. So a loss obviously eliminates them. And, how nice. If you're going to bookend your season, why not knock a division rival out for the rest of the year? And they don't have – then they've got to figure out, how long's Phillip Rivers going to keep going? Is Jacob Eason the guy? How are we going to get a franchise quarterback? Well, that's not the problem here in the city of Jacksonville.
Misery loves company. So if I'm going to sit at home for the playoffs, I want you to sit at home too.
That's right.
I love it. Great stuff, guys. Bucky, we'll talk to you on Wednesday for Happy Hour.
Happy New Year, Buck.
Happy New Year too. I don't know if my jersey will be there. I don't know if my 16 will be there, but hopefully by next Sunday I can get it in. Maybe
we'll expect to see it.
Right now.
We'll expect to see it in the postgame next week.
Love it.
Bucky wearing number 16. I love it.
Bucky, we're all getting a tattoo. No, I'm not.
Whoa,
no,
Dempsey. It's on record. Whoa.
No.
It's on record.
There was no guarantee.
This is going to be saved.
I lied. Save that. I lied. Not getting a tattoo. Not happening.
Bucky Brooks, Mike Dempsey. I am not getting a tattoo. That's on the record as well. I'm JP Shadrick. Thanks to our entire crew. Thanks to you for listening. Thanks for the phone calls. Jaguars fall 41-17 to the Bears, but they'll pick number 1 overall in 2021. We'll catch you next time. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.